There we go. Now we're finally live. I had to hit the button now. What was going on? I had to hit the button like 6 times in order for it to finally go live. Oh, my nose itches. I don't want to do this, but I need to get on the road, so we're just going to do this. So we can get on the road. Bam. I need a shirt. I guess I can wear that one. I'm going to wear a coat too, because it is a little chilly. Like if that sun was out, it wouldn't be too bad, but it is a little chilly outside. It's about 47 degrees probably. It was 33 when I first got up this morning. I wonder if I can do this with you guys right there. Probably not. You guys look this way. Is that the right way? Yeah. You guys look that way. Hopefully there's nothing reflecting over there. Shouldn't be. Just to make sure. Yeah, there shouldn't have been anything reflecting. Otherwise I'm gonna get freaking TOS. Well, my willie's so small you wouldn't be able to see anything anyway. I better do this really quick or else. Gute Heiven. Okay, we're gonna put that right there. Oh man, it's probably not a good idea to do this, but I gotta do it. My leggies. Oh, last night for whatever reason, I don't even know why. I slept for like I was able to fall asleep for about an hour, and then I woke up at like 11 o'clock last night. So I went to bed pretty early. So it was probably even earlier than that. It was probably like 10:30 or something. But my leggies were not even my legs, my knees. And it was both my knees. Just ached so bad that I could not sleep. Like it was just horrible. And I couldn't sleep. I had to take some ibuprofen, and then even when that kicked in, it still ached so bad. I don't know if it has something to do with the high altitude or what, but what's going on over here? I love how all these spam texts I get nowadays have now moved on to my iPad. I'm actually gonna wear this. I'm gonna wear that, or I could wear this one. We're just walking. Let's wear that one. Oh, that's nice. My gimbal's about dead. That's okay. I can plug it in while we're walking. Put some gloves on too. Oh, there's not a coat. I was wondering where this coat was. Ooh, brr. I never did hear anything about them finding my Starlink or not. I'm gonna have to message Zach today. I waited around a little bit, and then finally I was like, well, I can't wait any longer. I just gotta get moving. So, but I waited. Figured if they found it, they would have told me. And finally, I was just like, I gotta get going. So, oops, wrong one. Need to plug this in. There we go. And then, I'm guessing it's on. Where's the, there it is. Yeah, it must be on. Probably gonna lose the stream temporarily. I'm gonna wear my sunglasses because it's not really that bright out. It probably will be by the time we're done, but yeah, the legs are actually starting to feel good, other than just those aches, like in my knees, and even my ankle doesn't feel so bad anymore. In my knees, man. There we go. I had to switch off of my Wi-Fi because for whatever reason it was trying to hold on with his fingernails, so. Oh, we're up on the North Kaibab Plateau, so we're just gonna do the little. What is it, like a little over a mile down, and then come back. That I've done many times with Nari and you guys, but it is definitely chilly out, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know what was going on in my knees last night. Like after the walk yesterday, nothing, like things didn't, like they didn't feel that bad. And then the whole drive, they weren't that bad. We got here and I made dinner, ate dinner, cleaned up, like did my dishes, cleaned up. And then laid down, was sleepy at like, it was about 9 o'clock. So I decided to just go to bed, turn everything off, go to bed. Fell asleep finally around like 9:30ish, I would say. Probably took me like 20 minutes to go to sleep. And then I woke up an hour later, Like I think it was about 10:30. And both of my knees just ached so bad. Like so bad. It was so painful. And I like worse than while I was running during the race, like late in the race. And it was almost like when I woke up on that first morning after my knee swelled up and it just hurt so bad I couldn't even bend my knee. That's what it felt like. It was as painful as that, but I go with this direction. Is that better? The sun is like directly behind me, which is nice. So I had to take some Advil, and I've taken so much Advil in the last week. I didn't want to, but like I was almost in tears. It hurt so bad. So I took some Advil, and it knocked it down a little bit, but it still hurt. And it probably took me another hour and a half to get back to sleep again. And then I slept pretty good, although I did have to wake up at pretty early today, which isn't really that early because I'm trying to get on schedule for Montana, because I'll be in the same, like, I'm in the same time zone, but they don't do daylight savings time here, so I'm instantly going to lose an hour in 30 minutes. 30 miles that way, I'm going to lose an hour. So it was like I woke up at it was about 4:40, 4:45, somewhere around that, and I had to pee so bad, which is also a good sign because I didn't drink a whole lot of water. So that means a lot of the swelling I've had is also going away. All this water I've been retaining and everything. So that's good as well. But so I've been up since then. And it's like 7 something now. So been up for a couple hours, I guess. And like when I woke up at that point, no problem. My legs felt great. Like even right now, they feel pretty good. I mean, I can tell my legs are still, like my knees and everything are still a little goofy, but they don't ache. It's more stiffness more than anything. And so we'll see how far we get today. I'm only going to drive until I can't take it anymore with my legs. This was about as far as I could take it yesterday. Because my legs just, I wouldn't say they start to ache a little bit, but they definitely don't like sitting for that long right now. It's more just uncomfortableness than anything. So we'll see how far we get today. I told the lady that's watching my dog that I would most likely be picking her up tomorrow night. So I really wanted to get her tonight, but we'll just shoot for tomorrow night. Because I was hoping, the only reason why I was sticking around this long, because I could have left on probably Tuesday and started the trek north. But I told the director that was renting some of my equipment that I would be around until Wednesday just to give him a chance. And then he texted me on Tuesday and was like, hey, we're still haven't found your other Starlink yet, but it's probably, I told him, I go, it's probably in a box truck. And he's like, oh, we're not doing that box truck. So quick, good morning. So they were supposed to unload the box truck like Tuesday afternoon, and all the box trucks, I guess, but maybe they didn't get to it. But I'll text him today and I'll be like, hey, because I know he's not he's not here anymore. He's back in Colorado. So I'll just be like, hey, you know, I had to head back to Montana, so hopefully you find it. Because if you don't, you guys are getting a bill for the whole thing to replace it. So but if you do, you can either bring it to Western States or like ship it to me. One of the two. Don't matter to me. Whatever they feel the best doing. So I'm not going to use it. So, and I've already, it's not like they can use it. I've already paused the service on it. So it'll just be sitting there taking up space in their warehouse is all. You know, if I wasn't so cold, it would be just absolutely gorgeous out here right now. And it actually isn't that cold. It's like 47 degrees or so. It is. If that sun was like shining all the way through, then it would be really nice because that sun would warm up a bit. But my body's still recuperating from the race. So everything, if it's a little bit chilly, then, well, not even a little bit chilly. Everything just feels colder to me because I got so freaking cold the first 3 days of that race that everything just feels cold. Like last night when we got here, it was like around 60 degrees. And then, but the inside, like the back of my van, was at like 72 or 71 or something like that, which normally I'd be like, man, it's hot in here. No, I was cold. I had to actually turn I was under the covers and I had to turn my diesel heater on. And it wasn't until it got up to be about 78 degrees that I was finally feeling comfortable. Which then was funny because in the middle of the night, I actually had to crack the back door and turn the exhaust fan on because I was getting too sweaty. I only had like 2 covers on me, but it was at that point where it was like that, right on that temperature where I was sweating under the covers. And then because of that, that was making me cold. So I was better off actually making it colder in the van so I wasn't sweating, and then I was more comfortable, like warmer, if that makes sense to people or not. Here comes a biker. But yeah, it was a little crazy. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, there's a couple down trees I've noticed. Well, there's that sun. That's starting to feel a little warmer now. That's nice. Yeah, there's a couple new down trees since the last time we were up here, which was what, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? A little over 2 weeks ago, I guess. A couple more. Like, one of those was here, but the other one was not. Or maybe those two were... Actually, I think both of those are brand new, because I think there was one up here. Well, I don't feel so bad, that guy. He was all bundled up because it was cold too, and he's riding a bike, so he should be a lot warmer. He was bike packing. Ooh, that sun feels nice. I'm gonna be able to take my gloves off. No, probably not. But I don't know what my plan's gonna be for the next few weeks. I gotta get that figured out, but it'll all depend on how my legs are feeling. But I do not want to hang out in Helena. Stealth camping, it's fine, but I don't want to do that every day. I would rather be out in the woods somewhere, but the problem is it's supposed to be so rainy the next 2 weeks. So we might just grab the dog, grab all my equipment from my storage unit that I need, drop a few things off that I don't need that I brought for just this race, and then maybe drive down, I don't know, go down to Utah or something. We'll see. Oh, because if we're just out in the mountains somewhere and it's raining all the time, my dog is not gonna like that. She's gonna go stir crazy. I don't have the money to pay for, like, I mean, I could, like, you know, pay for daycare or something and let her go to daycare, and I can sit at like Starbucks and do some work or something, or in the back of the van in the park or something and do some work. But I really need to start. I really need to just use the gym for a week and just hop on the stationary bike, just to try and rehab my legs a little bit, and then figure out what's going on with my knee and all that. I really hope I didn't actually injure my knee, because I need to figure out by Monday if I'm going to do the Mammoth 200, because I'd love to do it, inaugural race, but I don't know if I want to put my body through that again. And if I injured myself, then I definitely don't want to put my body through that again. Let's see. Right now, the leg, like the knee doesn't even hurt. Like, we're climbing right here and it doesn't bother me one bit. It's more when I'm not doing anything and that could be why my legs are hurting so much, is because we haven't really done a lot. I looked at a lot of my friends that were racing, they're already back doing like short recovery runs, like actually running. I told myself I was going to give 2 weeks before I was going to even do an easy run. Like, I would do some stuff in the gym, like I said, like the bike or even maybe an elliptical, and I would do some hiking with my dog, but no running workouts to include an easy run. See, like, I kind of judge how my recovery is going based upon how my recovery from my last long race, which was only 107 miles, which was UTMB. I didn't have knee problems like I'm having now, which I know was just from the mud. Everybody was complaining about. There was so many knee problems from that mud because you were slipping around and it's making you, go all crazy, and then your foot would slip and then slam into a rock, to stop your momentum. And yeah, it was definitely the mud that was causing all these knee problems with people. But I might just walk back on the road instead of the trail. Listen. There's probably zero traffic on the road. There was only like 2 people camped out here, which was weird when I was driving in last night. I figured it would be so busy, but it was not. But yeah, like after UTMB, because I was hanging out until I finished on Sunday. I think I gave one more day, and then I was on the train by Tuesday, so I was walking around pretty good on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I did a 12-mile run. It was like a really super easy run, but I was running because that was when I was in Florence. And so I explored that city, but I was still running. And then, yeah, that started my trip of, just running around. So I ran on that day. And then Thursday was a travel day to Ljubljana. And then Ljubljana, well, first that I had to walk from the train station to where my hotel was, because I actually had to get a hotel there because all the hostels that had any availability were youth hostels. So they have to be 27 and under, and I'm not, obviously. Like in the off season, even the youth hostels, older people can stay there, but in season, it was still in season, summertime, you can't. So I had to get oddly enough, a Holiday Inn Express on the outskirts of Ljubljana. So it was about a 2.5, 3 mile walk from the train station to the hotel. And super, not a hard walk or anything. And the people at the hotel were so cool, super nice people. I mean, everybody in Slovenia was super nice. And then, so that would have been Thursday. And then the next day, because I always stayed, most of the time I stayed 2 days. So I would have my travel day in, stay one night. Then the next day was my tourist day, where I would go for a run anywhere from 12 to 20 miles. And then I'd stay one more night, and then the next day it was my travel day again. So really it was, for the most part, just 2 nights and 1 day, with that day being my whatever, And so, yeah, I ran, and I mean, it was a nice, easy run again, but I was running, so I did 2, 12-mile runs within a week with only 2 days off, or 3 days off, I guess. Like I said, they're really easy. It wasn't like I was pushing myself at all. It was a lot of just running for a few blocks and then stopping and taking pictures. A lot of stopping and taking pictures and looking at the map just to make sure, because that's all I was doing. I'd be like, okay, these things look really cool on the map. Let's go check them out. And I would also Google like things to see and so such and such, you know. And if something like, because not everything that was things to see I even cared about. It's like whoop-de-doo. But Ljubljana was, what was happening? Something was happening in Ljubljana too, which was so cool. It was like a youth, like sports festival type of thing in the park there. Like, it was really cool. They had like this big park, and in different sections of the park they had, you know, different like sports activity type stuff. I remember one was like soccer, and then they had like tennis, and then they even had like a little race, like a 5K or something. They had a skateboarding thing, you know, stuff like that, like scattered throughout this whole park. It was really cool. It's like just big festival. Like, because I actually stopped and asked, because I saw some people that were working. Oh jeez. Yeah, let's take the road back. Maybe. Yeah, we'll take the road back. Because I don't have the right shoes on, and there's a little bit of rock on that. The road will be smoother. But yeah, it was like really cool. Plus I got to see, like, Ljubljana was awesome. Like, it wasn't a huge like city. Even like the old town wasn't like, you know, ginormous. But the old town was really cool. So go to Ljubljana and just spend a couple days there. It was so cool. Like, the people there were so awesome. Now I'm going to be whited out because the sun is so bright. It finally broke free of the high clouds. I'm really liking this hat. It's from John G. I got it free. It's a nice hat. I have such a small head, and so it fits snug. So it's kind of weird that, because like if you had a big head, I don't know how comfortable this hat would be. Like, it'd be tight on you for sure. Oh. Yeah, Ljubljana was cool. And then from there, I mean, I've gone through all this before, but going from there to Croatia, and I went to the capital. I don't remember what the capital city name is. Whatever it is. Because I really wanted to go to the coast, but there was no way to really get over there. So I just went to the capital city. And I'm not gonna lie, that city did nothing for me. The hostel I stayed in was really cool. But yeah, it's just, the city itself was just kind of dark and gray. Not a lot of vibrant energy in the city. It just was gloomy. And it wasn't because of the weather. It was sunny when I was there. It's just had that feeling about it. The old town areas, even the buildings and stuff were like really dark and almost gothic and whatever. And I don't mind gothic. Like, give me a gothic babe. Hell yeah. But I don't know, the city just didn't do anything for me. And then trying to get out of the city was fun. I had to, because I was just trying to hop on the train to get over to go to Budapest, as you would say. And I had to hop on a bus, ride a bus for about an hour to get outside of the outskirts of town, to hop onto a train, and it was because they were working on like the rails. So this was like, you bought your train ticket and part of the travel was this bus from the train station to a train station on the outskirts. And it was like, I rode a rail in all the way to that bus station, or to that train station. Like, the same rail I had to avoid was I came in on, so maybe they just have them coming in on one direction or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, but it was weird. And then because, you know, I don't speak any of the language or anything, so trying to make sure I got on the right bus, and there was 3 of them, which was even more confusing. And they're all numbered differently, and none of them matched like what my ticket said. And then trying to talk to anybody over there, I found some other people that spoke English. At least they weren't like American or Canadian or anything. They were just some, I don't know what they were, like probably Spanish or something that also spoke English. And they were able to figure out that all 3 of those buses were going to where we were going. So I was like, okay, well, hopefully we're correct on this. And so we got on those, and we had to go to the bus, or to the other train station on the outskirts, which, like I said, took about an hour. And there was a train waiting for us there. And it was one train, and here's why it was so confusing. That one train was split, and the train going from Croatia to Budapest was not like a fancy train by any means. It was like old school train. Most of the trains I took were that way. Once I was in like Eastern Europe. But so that train was going to 3 different places, which was why there was 3 different buses. But yes, it was all the same train starting off. But as we got to like different points along the route, like they would drop like 2 cars, you know, off the train, and then another 2 cars off the train. So for the people that were going to a different place, and then they would just hook up another engine and take them the rest of the way to whatever direction they were going. And in fact, mine was one of those where they dropped the train cars, and then we had to hook up to another engine and go the rest of the way. So you had to make sure you got on the correct cars on that train. So that's why it was so confusing. But I did it. I adulted good. I was a big boy and was able to figure it out. But yeah, that was once I got to Budapest. Like the trains were easy to manage after that point. but they weren't like I said, the train going from Budapest to Kosech, Slovakia, was just this rickety old train. But at the big train station in Budapest, I was able to just hop on the train and go. It wasn't like I will say though, I was like, because I got there and the train was like the what do you call it, the ramp or whatever, the platform that the train was supposed to be at. Like me and a couple other people, like a couple other backpackers, were waiting over at where this train was, and it was like, this thing doesn't even look like it's train worthy, like travel worthy. And it was just sitting there. And you know, I kind of wandered over there, and now we're like, 10 minutes from leaving, and the doors still weren't open. And so I'm like getting worried, so I'm going back to the board to make sure I'm looking right, and it's like, nope, that's what it says it is. And then like literally like 3 minutes before the train was supposed to leave, somebody finally showed up and like unlocked the doors so we could get on. And like just the rickety old train. I was so worried. And then got to and there wasn't very many of us on that train either. It was like maybe 10 or 12 of us. But we got to where I was trying to get to. And then it was the same thing. And that town was pretty cool, other than I felt like I was way out of my element. Like, you want to talk like post-communist type of city, that was it. Like, you could tell it was post-communist industrial city. But in the old town wasn't like huge. I mean, it was a smaller city. I mean, it was still a big city, but it was like small for, it was definitely, like I said, industrial, like communist industrial city. So you'd look off on the hills and you'd see these giant, just rows upon rows upon rows of these giant apartment buildings right next to these industrial complexes. But the little city itself, like down in the bottom, was more like, it reminded me of like a little Vegas. So you had like some really cool old town places, but there was also like casinos and stuff like that. But and then the train ride from there to the Czech Republic where I was trying to go, I don't even remember what the name of that town was, which was also like just an industrial town. But that train, oh my goodness, that train was so rickety, and it was packed. It was the typical, like, what you think of with Eastern European. Like, it was this older couple, and we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden it was lunchtime, and here the old lady pulls out this giant slice of, like, this giant loaf of bread and started slicing it up, and then all of a sudden she's pulling out, like, meats and veggies and stuff out of her purse, making a big old sandwich for her and her husband. It was pretty cool. Kraken, how's it going? It's going good. It's going here. Going good here. We're just kind of making our way back. We're walking on the road back, but we're gonna try and we'll see how far we make it today. I'm just gonna drive until my legs can't take it anymore. Like, normally I'd be able to easily drive all the way back to Montana today, but I'm gonna have to, based upon my drive yesterday where I only drove like 5 hours, my legs by the end were done. not like really aching or anything like that. They were just super uncomfortable. But we'll see. I mean, realistically, my legs feel, oddly enough, feel really good this morning compared to yesterday. But in the middle of the night last night, my legs hurt so bad and ached so bad that it woke me up. So I don't know. We'll just see how my legs do. I think it's because we're at high altitude. This is just my guess. I think something in my knee, because it's my knees that hurt so bad in the middle of the night. I'm thinking something with the high altitude is what is messing with it. But we'll see. So probably as soon as I drop down off of this plateau, my legs will probably start. Well, right now they feel great. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see what happens. But it is super nice out here, and the birds are chirping. Other than it being a little bit chilly, but it's supposed to get up to about 60 degrees today here. But I would like to just stay here another day, but also I don't want to stay here another day. One, I can't really do a lot because my I mean, I guess I could. Like, if I was going to do something today, what I would really want to do is just sit there and play video games, but I don't, my Starlink reception right here, because there's so many trees, isn't the best for doing that. But I can do everything else. Like, I could stream TV fine. But like actually playing a game where you need a decent, like my upload speed is actually really good. It's like my download speed is about 120 and my upload speed is about 13. But it's not consistent. It has it skips every now and then because of the trees. So every 2 minutes or so, it has like a 3-second skip, which is not good if you're playing like a video game. But if you're doing like TV, it's not a big deal because you usually buffer, 5 to 10 seconds ahead on stuff like that. Oh, but we're gonna get going. I'm not gonna stick around. I need to get my dog. I do miss my dog. It's nice sleeping at night, not having to worry like sharing a bed with her, but especially with how my legs have been feeling. But I miss her. Hopefully she misses me. I guarantee she's having fun where she's at. So she will probably be happy to see me. But then when I'm like, okay, let's go, she's going to be like, nah, I'm going to stay here. I have friends here. I got sent a picture the other day. She was playing tug of war with one of the other doggos. Like actual tug of war. Not like she usually does, where she just tries to try to get a toy from another doggo or whatever. Or if somebody comes up to her, like I think when Riley, grabs a hold of her toy, she ends up just letting go of it. She was actually playing tug of war, so. Okay, well, we're almost back. I think this is my road or my driveway up to the to my van right here. Oh no, it's the next one. This is an actual road that I have no idea where it goes, but it must go back in there a long ways. Oh gosh, dang it. The heck did I just trip on? There's like no rocks here. There's literally no rocks sticking out, but something just grabbed my toe and was like, F you. It damn near made me trip. Well, I did trip. It damn near made me freaking nose plant. I don't know what reached up and grabbed my toe. There was literally nothing. Like, this is this fairly smooth road. Like, there's some small loose rock on it, but nothing that's gonna stop your toe like that. Huh, I don't know what that was about. Oh. Freaking chafing is still healing, of course, and it is so itchy. So itchy. I might have to see if I can find my sweats and just put those on so it's looser. I won't be as comfortable though, because it might be too warm. But I guess I could. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, the sweats are super comfy. They're like pajamas, but they're my Hoka swag I got, my fit that I got from, what was that, Black Canyon maybe? Boom. How did my race go? I finished. It did not go well. I'm gonna do like a full race recap, but I had issue after issue after issue, so I was just happy to finish. I was completely happy just to finish. Okay, find my... No, there is nothing wrong with that, that's for sure. With some of the stuff I went through, the fact that I did finish, I mean, I started off with a mile 7 with an ocular migraine. So the fact that I was able to just keep going after that said a lot. So there was somebody else that also got a migraine that I know that's a really, really good runner. And she ended up having to drop out because it just ruined the whole rest of her race, which it did for me too, but I just pushed through it. But yeah, and then it just continued from there. So and then I would have like a good spell, and then something else would happen. And it was mostly just because of the weather. We had unusual weather for this time of year. They've never had the weather conditions. Rain and stormy. There's at one point I got stuck out in a field out in the middle of nowhere, and when I got hit with a thunderstorm, just out of nowhere, and I didn't know it, but people were taking videos of the storm as I was just like booking it to try and get to the aid station, because I was at that point about 2.5 miles from the aid station, and there was a video of that storm above me, and there was a funnel cloud actually coming out, and it never did touch down to be a full-blown like tornado, but that's unusual in Arizona. So yeah, there was that, and then yeah, so it's just so many things. But so just to be able to finish, I was plumb happy. So yeah, plumb happy. Okay, well, that's actually going to be it. Just a nice little short little walk. About 2.25 miles. But we're going to get on the road because we got to get driving. So, oh, there's a bunch of turkeys over here. Nice. So I will see you guys probably tomorrow at some point. Yeah, at least coming for a bit, yeah. But yeah, I'm sure I'll go live for another walk tomorrow. So bye everyone. Love you all, and I'll see you guys next time.